All in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
Who said it'll be right down?
Okay. Next up, we have audience participation, public comment. Is there anyone here for that reason tonight? Would you like to come on up and tell us your name, please? If you want to have a seat right here, there's a microphone. That's a good spot. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Carl Schwarzkopf.
Hi, Carl.
I was just wondering, the Pioneer Valley development program. Is there, who has jurisdiction over them? Do you have an idea?
I don't think anyone has jurisdiction over them. I mean,
I'm on the executive board
oh, there you go.
and what's,
Well, the situation is I applied for the program about a year ago,
mhm,
sort of November of last year. And initially I was approved. I fit the criteria. for the
Great.
program. And then I had an inspector come through and he basically said, yeah, everything looked good. And then he quit the program.
he quit the program.
He quit the program. So then, they sent another inspector to my house. And then they sent another inspector to do a DLED.
Yeah,
And then they turned around and denied me. And
Yeah.
they said I was trying to get a clapboard on my house replaced.
okay.
That I had told the second inspector
Mhm.
that I was trying to get the clapboard replaced on my house, which is not at all. The whole time, all I've been doing is applying to get assistance with painting, repainting the house, scraping and painting.
Mhm.
And I'm just, I'm just completely confused by this program, what's going on. I mean, I have all these people parading through my house, telling me they're inspectors. And then they turn around and deny me.
We don't have any jurisdiction over what's approved and what's not approved. My understanding of the program is they have pretty strict. I know that, guidelines as to what they'll do and what they won't do. I know that there was someone else in town that was denied because there was lead paint found in the house too. I mean, it's not just an issue that you're dealing with. I think that happens because of the age of houses up here. But you could talk to Christopher Dunn, our town administrator, and he could certainly reach out to.
I've spoken to Mr. Dunn
Okay.
already about this, and I don't know, it just seems like I just don't understand the program. I mean, it's supposedly an assistance program to assist people with their homes. And then they make you jump through all these hoops based on their criteria.
Who was the last inspector to go through your home? Do you know?
No, I don't remember his name. I think they only had one inspector.
My understanding is it's a grant program
Yeah.
that then puts the lien on your house that is paid down and until it just disappears.
That's exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, because it's a grant program, they can, accept or not accept, I guess, whomever.
Right, I understand that, but what I don't understand is why I'm being misquoted. For them to say that, I got I received a letter from Erica Johnson.
Okay,
Yep, telling me that, I told the inspector that I was looking to have the clapboard replaced on my house, which is not at all the case. I
Okay,
don't even know how that came to be. I'm looking for a paint job, not a clapboard job. And they denied it based on the fact that I supposedly was looking for clapboard, which they're calling cosmetic.
oh,
I don't,
yeah.
I've never heard anybody calling siding cosmetic. Painting would be cosmetic. So I'm just not following this program at all.
Yeah,
What's going on?
and did they give you a reason why you were denied?
Yeah, they said, it says in the letter from Erica Johnson that. I'm looking to have the clapboard replaced on the house. And that's a cosmetic
Yeah,
thing. And therefore it's not covered, but never have I requested to have the clapboard replaced.
did
don't-
they agree to paint?
They initially agreed to paint, that's
Yeah.
exactly the point. Right from the beginning, all I was looking for was painting.
Okay,
And believe it or not, it runs into a lot of money,
Yeah,
scraping the paint,
I'm sure.
so.
I mean, there's really, the select board was involved initially with the approving and allowing the program to run in town and allowing residents to apply for it, but there's really nothing we can do as far as. I mean, you've spoken to Christopher and you've had conversations with Pioneer Valley, but as far as who they approve and why, I don't think is anywhere in our jurisdiction.
Yeah, Carl, what I would suggest is that you take whatever correspondence you've gotten from PVPC, forward it to me, so I at least have it. Whenever I hear from you, I reach out to Erica. I get the sense she is absolutely buried, and I don't think it's, any ill will on her part. She's just very busy, and it's a challenging process, but forward whatever you have to me. I'm happy to reach out to her and see what we can do over there.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue that I have here,
Mhm.
just for the record, it's being misquoted.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's what's really bothering me is for, somebody put in writing that I said something that I didn't say.
Sure.
And based on that, denying my application. I mean, that's a little disconcerting when the whole thing's been going on for years. I mean,
Yeah, well, it's a long process. I know that. It is a very long
I've
process.
had, 3 people come through my house, and I mean, this isn't just like a drive-by, this is like, these are detailed inspections that take up a lot of my time. So hopefully, these inspections result in some type of an intelligent call at the end of the day, and not, hey, you said something you didn't say.
Mhm.
Then, right, and then when I ask for clarification, there's no response.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not acceptable, so that's why I started with my question, who has jurisdiction over these people? Because, I mean, they just seem to run roughshod over people, and there are no consequences. I'm just not getting this program, literally,
Mhm.
in more ways than one, so that's why I'm here tonight, hopefully get some answers here. I mean. I'm not getting this forward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an awesome opportunity if it works out, but unfortunately, it sounds like there's a lot of barriers.
Yeah, and I'm not
So-
quite understanding these barriers.
Yeah,
I mean, this is taxpayers' money. Right, this is our money.
it's not
It's-
it's not a town program. It's it's a state,
Well, we
it's a
pay-
state funded.
we
Yeah,
pay
so
state
yes, it's
taxes.
taxpayers, but through a
Yeah.
state funded program.
Pay state taxes.
hmm
Okay, so it's our state money,
hmm
state tax money. That's funding this program.
hmm
So, somebody needs to straighten this program out. And that's why I keep asking, who's overseeing this thing?
I guess you would have to go to state officials for that.
Yeah, so it's a community development block grant, so it's actually federal money that's then administered by the state.
So it's federal money, so it's federal tax.
Still
money.
tax money.
Yeah,
Pay federal tax, at least I do, I don't know about you guys.
but yeah, PVPC is in charge of this particular program for Landford. And I think I talked to the board before, they've just had a lot of challenges with this program. I mean, one thing is that they start working on a house, and then because of housing prices, the owner decides to sell instead. They've had
Yeah,
that happen a number of times, and so they've had a lot of blind alleys in that way. So they've been facing a lot of challenges, but I totally hear your frustration. I'll keep trying to get in touch with Erica and make sure she understands that, we need some responses and some correspondence here.
All right, that's it, thanks for your time.
Thanks for coming.
Appreciate
have a good evening.
it. Sure.
Did we have any other audience participation? No, all right. All right, we have department reports. I'm gonna have highway go first. Does that work, Christopher?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Come on down. I know it's been a long day.
Well, not too bad.
Well, that's good.
You pull that speaker in front of your face, please. Thank you.
All right. Everybody knows by now that both numbers all done.
Yep, that's good.
The bill just rolled in and haven't had much time to look at it. So that's that. The old truck, yeah, the old flatbed pickup,
Mm-hmm.
that's in the shop
Okay,
and it'll cost about 4,000.
okay. What's going on with it?
a couple of U joints, some modulars and stuff like that,
Okay,
so. I've done 135, I think, thousand miles on it. The new truck that's we've been waiting for has arrived,
New truck?
yes. And,
What is it?
What's the new truck?
what's that?
What new truck's that?
They replaced the old flatbed.
you've been waiting on that one for a while, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah,
They had it over back in February, March.
yeah, it's been a long time.
So. Are,
It's here.
yeah,
That's
it's,
all I know,
okay, so why are we putting money in the old truck?
because they're not gonna be able to start putting the body in until like end of November, maybe sometime in December. That's why.
When you say it's here, what does that mean?
It's at Bart Equipment.
Oh,
We have the body installed. So I talked to them the other day and they said, yeah, we had a truck here that's been sitting here for 2 years already. I said, oh, thanks. Well,
So what, did you trade this other truck in, this old one?
no,
So I wouldn't put $4,000 into a truck. I'd roll the dice and rent one before I'd put $4,000 into that thing. If we need it for a storm, if we needed it for a storm, I said.
But he's saying it might last, it can take up to 2 years, you said, in the shop.
No, he said November.
He said it may start end of November or sometime in December,
Okay,
just put the body on, it may take 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it goes over to, ACT for the, buffering.
Now, this flatbed, you put a sander on it too, and a plow.
Yeah, it's all set up for it.
so we're looking at,
This for years.
getting it sometime in December, maybe?
Yes,
Okay. The other truck, what do we do with the other truck after we receive the new one? Are we selling it? Are we?
I like it here, let's sell it if we can.
Okay,
I know the water department was talking about
okay.
it, you know.
We'll sell it to them for double.
So
Triple? Well, I was trying to be nice.
that's where we are with that right now.
Okay,
What are the modules? Electronic modules or what?
Of course they are. Cool.
For the diesel?
For everything.
Where's the truck at? Sarah? Going to the expensive place to get it repaired.
Well, where else are you gonna take it?
A lot of places, but I wouldn't go to a dealer for it, not an old truck like that.
That's where we've been taking all of our Fords down there.
Mary, did you have a question?
I'm sorry, I'm confused. We have a truck being repaired for fourth, which truck is that?
The flatbed, the 2012.
2012 flatbed is being repaired,
Yes.
okay. And that's the one with 135,000 miles on it, so it's got some use left.
It's,
And
it's
the new truck,
used. Let's say again,
the new truck has arrived
yes, it's sitting at Bart Equipment.
at Bart Equipment. And it's waiting for
Body.
a body. And that'll be sometime November, December,
Probably pushing, I would say probably December.
December.
Yeah.
What kind of a truck is that one?
It's a 550, a 550.
550? Okay. Thank you.
Continue. What else you got for us?
I talked to Steve from our department,
Okay.
and I talked to him to see if he was willing to come in and give us a hand phone
Mm-hmm.
during the big storms and all that stuff. He had no problem with that.
Oh, that's great.
He gave me a time frame, because he can't do it, he's gotta be home 8 o'clock in the morning, so he can put his children on the bus.
Okay.
Could you-
He's gotta be home by 5:30 or so, so his wife, kids get home, his wife is home.
Okay.
So
Who's Steve, please?
Steve, I don't know his last name.
From the water.
Steve from.
Yeah.
Okay,
So he'll be some part-time labor for you this
Yes.
winter.
yeah,
Good.
so. I was quite pleased that he was able to do that for us.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a good
and-
idea.
and put a little extra money in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You got the proper license to drive it?
All you need is.
Health card,
Ooh,
you gotta have a health card. If the truck weighs over a certain amount, you have to have a health card from DOT.
This is just a regular pickup truck,
Oh, yours he's gonna drive?
about a 550.
It's not legal
Why isn't it?
because it's overweight.
What's the weight?
10,000 on it,
No,
9,000?
26,000, it's not even 26,000.
You have to have a health card over 10,000 pounds. That is mass code.
No, you don't.
I
No, you
had,
don't.
when did they change it? Last week?
Never been.
Oh, bullshit.
Let's table that and do some research, and if it
I
is the
believe
case, then
that.
we can.
You have to get a health card from the doctor. You've never had one yourself? I got numerous ones at home. We had to have to drive our trucks.
Okay.
I think I got my medical card, the class B, but he's not driving a class B.
Still have to have it over 10,000. I'm 99% sure. I could be wrong. If I am, I'll say so, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Okay.
I'm worried about
help you.
Oh, God. DJ, why don't you like me tonight? I mean, it's not a big deal to do, and not that he's not capable.
The biggest problem that we had is that, with the hoisting license,
Oh, yeah.
did we have a hoisting license because he's not driving a loader?
No, I got you.
And that's where you get your medical card from.
Mhm.
We always had to have them for the other ones up to when I was there 3 years ago. So I don't, it might have changed, but I just want to be covered insurance wise. It
Yeah,
takes 5 minutes to figure it out.
Yeah.
So, that's all I have.
okay,
Hope everybody has a good weekend and we can hang out.
yeah,
No, it wasn't.
TJ won't be here.
I'll be in the woods, far away. Far away.
Good luck.
Right.
Hey, tell them to take the moose ears off.
Are you the one that sent me that hat?
thank you, Dave, I appreciate it.
Take care.
All right, is there anyone else that wants to leave early? No, we don't have any other reports? All
Yeah,
right,
you do.
me, besides me, okay, Christopher,
Yeah, I'll make it pretty brief here.
Good.
So, number one, the shared water operator agreement with Chester. So we're gonna be sending out a grant application this week for an efficiency and regionalization grant.
great,
I think Carrie got a letter in front of you.
I found it, yeah.
For that,
Mhm.
hoping to have a similar one from Brad later this week on behalf of the water commissioners. And then, you know, beyond that, we'll see if the grant funding comes in, knock on wood. You know, we'll be successful, and it would pay for a number of, small capital purchases that both water departments need. And then, you know, we're looking to actually have everything in place by July 1 of this coming year, so
Great,
that's where we're at with that. Capital improvement plan, so the Collins Center sent over the initial capital investment strategy. So I need to dig into that this week and next, but basically that'll lay out, you know, how we're gonna pay for all the various capital projects we've got on the docket.
okay,
So more to come on that.
great, sounds like
Uh,
fun.
So the Blair Road beaver situation.
Mhm.
So, Springfield Water ponied up and paid for the trapping of 25 beavers.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to believe.
No.
Your number of beavers. So, you know, for the moment, that's where we stand. The beavers have been trapped. As far as we can tell, water levels are no longer rising.
Great,
You know, ideally, you know, we would do some kind of limited breach of the dam and then be able to bring the water back down to a more suitable level.
okay,
I don't believe that's gonna happen this year because Springfield has some understandable trepidation about it. The
Mhm.
trapper we've spoken with, similar.
okay,
So it gets a little complicated. What I'm hoping to do is because now we have this grant funding for municipal vulnerability. And part of that is earmarked for these beaver impacted properties, is to figure out using that funding next summer. Okay, how should we install a flow device here? What
Mhm.
kind of long-term things should we do and how should we pay for that?
okay,
So for the moment, it sounds like the situation is stabilized there.
Good.
And great precedent that Springfield paid for it.
I know, that's wonderful,
But-
glad to hear that, okay,
You gotta win one once in a while. with that.
Yeah, but, yeah, and then we'll see what happens over the winter.
okay,
And then real quick update from the Conservation Commission. So we've got, I believe everyone knows about the electric pole.
Mhm.
So they've had a pole running from my house there or a wire running from my house there, to charge their, trailer. on
Mhm.
there. They, I guess that situation is no longer working for them. They're trying to install a new pole.
oh, okay,
Wetland there, so they've been consulting the Conservation Commission. We are now trying to figure out if it's actually on town property also. If that's the case, we'll have to figure out some kind of agreement with them eventually. So-
Okay,
So we'll see, more to come on that.
okay.
They're,
Now, that house that they're taking the
Yeah.
power from,
Yeah.
is that our house?
well, so this is,
Yeah.
this is,
Yeah, it's ours, right? We took that in taxes years ago, am I correct?
well, so this is what is confusing because. And everyone thought it was, well, they thought it was theirs. We kind of initially thought it was ours.
Well, that's what,
And then actually, it looks like that particular parcel was, there was an auction and this gentleman bought it.
Oh, okay.
So actually, it's,
we didn't even, okay,
so no one knew.
yeah.
And clearly he hasn't been visiting the property.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there must be back taxes due on it.
Yeah, I don't know
maybe.
the situation there, but,
Okay,
so anyway. so
Yeah, yeah,
that's going on.
no, no, just-
okay.
Moving right along, so the Ag Commission has a meeting set for early December to launch off this forest management process. So Dick Gates is on the committee, Dave Hobson is also on the committee. And we've got kind of a list of properties that we're gonna be discussing and then kind of the approach.
Okay.
Potentially, this could be, a huge RFP for all the town properties that. are
That'd be great,
for
yeah.
Forestry services, or it could be kind of more piecemeal, or,
Yeah,
working with town of Russell, for example.
Mhm.
We'll see what shape it takes. but,
Okay.
And then, the chief had an update about the, generators, so we got the emergency management performance grant. That'll cover the electrical engineering up front,
mhm.
that'd be, I believe, Peter, I want to say Wozniak or something. That sounds like a founder of Apple. I can't remember his last name, but anyway.
Okay, we will hold it.
Anyway, so that's covered, so that's another step in that process, so I'm kind of with that can move forward.
Great.
And then really quick, Fire Highway Garage, we had an open house last Saturday, it was sparsely attended.
I was gonna say, I didn't see any cars or anything. Yeah.
TJ, I saw you there. so-
No.
I saw Deb there too.
Was there?
I missed one because I came later.
Was there free coffee?
No,
Well, then.
no, I didn't even have an apple cinnamon donut.
Oh, my
How
God.
can you have an open house and not have those at Halloween time?
I'm calling
The
it.
cider was delicious.
It's a bowl of-
What answer? Oh, yeah, that's what a diabetic wants.
So anyway, we're gonna hold the second one, this coming Wednesday, just
Okay.
kind of. Hopefully for, commuters.
Yeah.
Stop by, check it out. I really recommend people do take a look at those buildings, so you can understand the context of this project.
I know, we gotta get more people out there.
Yeah,
Any other way that we can advertise the open house that could get the word out better? What did we do last time?
Reverse 9-1.
we did a letter in the Country Journal and we had yes, we could do that, it's true. We could use the.
We could do that, and if we do that, let's make sure to say that it's the second open house, so that people aren't, you're telling me it's a Wednesday, all right. It's the second open house.
You need a town crier.
Yes.
I elect you.
Well, Jeff and I cry every time.
You're
we
too
come in
loud.
town.
I feel like you could.
So those electronic signs,
Yeah,
they just got them, they're about
Yeah.
this big. We got two of them for $2,500 and you can change them there.
in front of your house.
I'm
You're
gonna
be
put one in
putting
front of my house, I'm
out?
putting all the signs up. I'm gonna light them up.
Fantastic. I can't wait to see what it says.
It's gonna be in orange and black.
You're approving this?
You know, yes, she does.
Be though.
You can get those. You can get those for,
Yeah.
at the,
We had
At
a
this-
bit of an emergency
Yeah.
situation Friday morning.
they
Yes,
have them there. We got them for the fair.
yeah,
But I would say, I definitely highlighted, if you hear from people, oh, I didn't get a notification, send them my way.
Most of them never even heard about it, to be honest with you. I don't know why they never, I don't think they read the Country Journal and there's, what else, where else are you gonna get? They're not gonna stop by here.
are you talking about the?
For the open house.
He's talking about-
I'm sorry, I
He's
missed.
talking about the reverse 911 that went out.
Yeah.
That's the Blackboard Connect. If you are signed up to get a phone call,
Oh.
if there's an emergency in town,
Yeah.
so they sent out the reverse
Oh,
911 for.
yeah. So anyway, so
Yep,
if
yep.
you hear people saying, hey, I didn't get.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Text message.
Just
call,
sign
send
up,
my
yeah.
way.
Okay,
It's surprising how many people don't even go on the website.
Well, and it's one of those tricky things where you sign up for it and then your phone number changes and of course we have no way of knowing.
Yeah.
Why do you think I suggested a town crier?
Perfect. I love it.
Are you looking for something to do?
What does it say? Excellent. Okay,
That's it for me.
okay, thank you. George, did you have a question?
Yes, I didn't quite hear Chris, in terms of the plan, what's the plan you have with the Springfield Water regarding the road additions, and what are they doing now, and what are they doing later?
You mean for Blair Road?
Yeah, but for Blair Road, because the water is within 4 inches of going over the road, and there needs to be a plan, if they're not gonna do anything to break the dams up this fall, the highway department needs to put some culvert in, a preventative thing, because as soon as we get a good rainstorm, we're gonna have a washout, and it's gonna be super expensive and all that kind of stuff. So we need a primary preventative plan rather than a plan that says, well, we'll just throw money at the problem after it happens.
That's not what I heard him say.
Yeah, well, so in terms of addressing the beavers, I already spoke to that. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard you say they got 25 beavers out of there.
Yes, yeah, but then after that, so in the future, what I'd like to do is use some funding we have already earmarked for these kind of beaver impacted properties. And come up with a plan for whether it's a flow device or something that can more consistently lower the water level.
Yeah.
That's what we hope.
Well, that's a 3 to 6 month.
Yeah,
project.
so.
I'm concerned about what we're doing this fall and winter
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
preventative situation,
And I
so we
will-
don't run into a big expense.
Yeah, and I will talk to Dave about what we can do, and I'm happy to reach out to Springfield Water and see if they have any, thoughts. At this point, their budget for assisting us with this particular issue is pretty much spent. They
Mhm.
spent $6,000 on trapping beavers. So I'm not sure we'll get too much more assistance, but
But they said to you absolutely they're not gonna demolish the dams or some of the dams this fall.
it's tricky with beaver dams because no one wants to take on the liability of a breach. Because you don't exactly know without some serious engineering what's gonna happen when you breach a dam. So they said the trapper can make a recommendation. We will review his recommendation before approving any breach. He said, I'm not comfortable
Yeah,
putting it out there because he says, I'm not an engineer. I don't know exactly what would happen. So we're kind of at an impasse there. And that's just generally the situation when it comes to breaching these dams. So that's just a challenge we're always gonna have. And I'm not sure we're gonna be able to address it in the short term here.
So instead of addressing it now, you're gonna do preventative work to make sure that Blair Road doesn't flood out.
Well, I'm not sure there's any other option, with respect to the dam breaches. We can't just, kick a hole in those dams. That's not gonna happen, so.
Only because it's been done for the last 100 years, the dams have been breached consistently. Now, all of a sudden, we can't do it. I find it very interesting.
it sounds to me, George, like Chris has been working very closely with both the Trapper and Springfield, and it sounds like they have a good handle on the situation.
Well,
So
I.
But we
feel that there's
appreciate,
often this
as always.
communication taking place between Springfield Water and the town of Blanford, and I think that needs to be clarified as to who's assuming the liability for the.
I don't think there's miscommunication. I think that Christopher is in pretty constant communication.
Well, I still haven't heard what the plan is from Springfield for the winter and the potential flooding of the road and the plan for restoration of the road when the flooding occurs.
Yeah.
I heard Christopher say that according to the Trapper and the in Springfield Water, that it was stable for now, and we are gonna be coming back to the
I didn't
situation.
hear it stable at all.
I heard that, but you might not have heard that in the
All
first.
I heard was that they took 25 beavers out of there.
And then he
What-
said, yeah,
It
and
wasn't
then,
still as high as it was before they took the beavers out.
no, he said that it doesn't look like the water is rising, that it still has space and that it's stable for the time being, is what I heard.
Yeah, and George, but I'm happy to talk to our highway superintendent about what we can do to make sure that, you're not gonna be stranded or anything when, if there's a washout. I don't think there's gonna be a washout because it sounds as though, again, the water level is stabilized for the season. But we don't know.
That's exactly what I just
We
said.
can't plan for every
Incremental.
contingency. But again, there's no option with respect to breaching the dams that makes sense from a liability perspective for any of the players involved, so it's not gonna happen. Sorry, I just, that's,
Okay, all right, so the ball's back in my court, okay. Okay,
All right, so we're gonna move on to action items. I have for the first action item approving warrant 9. So I have a question about that because the number scared me. And so I didn't sign it. And I know that there's an answer to that. It's just that it's the broadband situation, but gee, I don't know if you want me to read this number because it's a scary number and I don't know if I can read it. $2,975,000, $185.
nice.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Now, I know that there's some broadband stuff there, and I wasn't sure if there was an error, but then when I look at this one. It made me nervous, so I didn't sign it.
Yeah, okay.
You want to hold on these?
So these are, yeah, I just have to ask Sarah about these. Because-
Yeah.
So one of these, you're right, is broadband. And then the other is our USDA loan. for
Yeah.
water.
Okay, so
Those are
I'm-
large amounts.
I feel like it's probably legit, and I understand given the sources, but I just felt like maybe we should ask Sarah to give us some more clarification.
Yeah,
before we start.
yeah, happy to ask her about these.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Get some background. Yeah.
So we're gonna hold on the approving warrant number 9. All right, so I would entertain a motion to approve the letter of support for Blandford Chester Shared Water Operator Efficiency and Regionalization Grant, which Christopher just talked about. Is there,
I'll make the motion.
all right, second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we have signed that. I have no more action items. I have unfinished business, the ARPA funding request from water. So we had the storage building. Where's Gordon? Come on down, Gordon. Gordon, you got us a new quote for the shed.
Yeah, 8,200 for the one with the ramp and the.
So that was, did I keep my?
The workbench in it, and the other one I gave to Chris, that was like 92 with no ramp and no bench, so we still have to do that work in there.
Okay,
What is the gas powered equipment you store?
We have a riding lawnmower, we have our blowers, our backpack blowers. We're looking to eventually get a bigger tractor for mowing instead of outsourcing it. And the Conex box is only 8 feet wide.
Yeah.
so that was less than the original amount that you had requested, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Well,
was,
I looked at the quote that you had and I called 2 of the exact same places
Yeah,
for a used container, not a new one. They were 3,200, yours were 5,500.
yeah.
but you said that you said that they were that much because of a window,
No, he wanted a window and a
I
ramp
called up
and a side door.
additional cost, right?
So
It
what
wasn't-
kind of chemicals stored in that Conex box before we got it?
How do I know? Do you know what was stored in the other one?
Correct. So we're gonna go and put it up on our watershed.
Oh, my God. Don't want to go there. Just leave it at that.
Okay, I was just trying to find the previous quote for
To something for the wooden one.
82. Okay, so and the new one is, I'm sorry, remind me again what the new quote was?
I gave it this time.
I had it last week. I'm sorry, I don't know what it, and Chris gave it to us last week.
We have it in here. We do, right here.
So the new one is for, oh, it's for more.
Yeah.
Gordon,
How much more?
Call it triple B,
9,100.
Versus,
Springfield.
Wow, they really wanted to get their name first in the phone
Yeah,
book.
no kidding, huh?
AAAAA. Line cord. I don't know.
We bought a used one from them, we bought a new one from them last time, it was 3,500.
So where is this equipment currently being stored?
About 4 feet from the filters inside the building. So all our gas and everything is stored in the filters next to the filter beds.
Okay.
so is the building ordered or
No, he's asking us for ARPA
Yeah,
funding.
They pretty much, it's one of those ones in their big field or showcase that they got.
Yeah. And like, once it's approved, how long before they,
Whatever they get on the list, it could be a month, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I'm not sure. We're not asking for anything out of the ordinary, it's just, it's a typical stock.
So last week we approved the rest of the ARPA requests, right? Except for this one. Was that correct?
Yeah,
Or was there,
This is the last one.
this was the last one? So do you guys want to make a motion and talk about it?
well, I think we should just. We gotta get it done, so let's get it done. I move that we accept this price and get the building.
So you're moving that we spend the $9,100 out of
absolutely.
ARPA funding for the water department,
200 is the cheap.
8,200.
Yeah.
8,200 out of, okay, I'll second that for discussion. Jeff, what do you got?
Nothing.
So you're just, you don't want to spend the money?
No,
is what you're saying?
absolutely not.
Okay,
Ridiculous, waste of money.
What would you say, where would we put it then?
I said, get a metal built shed, just like that. Oh, it's got chemicals in it. Those things are so clean. I've had one for years. They have one up there. This town has one, right?
Yeah.
Don't hear anybody dying from those,
Yeah, but they don't get their residuals and parts of the trim either.
whatever that is.
It's-
That's something you know about, I don't know about.
And that's exactly why I'm not recommending getting a used one. You know, it was down here at the pump house or something that'd be different. Then again, when we bought that, prices were a lot different. back
Oh, you
then,
know they
too.
were. I paid 1,200 for mine, so yeah, I know
Yeah,
they
I
were
know.
different, and I just can't see it.
Christopher, how are we doing with ARPA funding?
So if we voted that, was it 8,200 is
Yeah.
the low one? So then we have about $1,200 left.
Do we have any other requests in besides water right now?
I mean, we have ones that came in last fall.
Yeah.
The board decided not to award.
I'm just looking at the. Oh, you guys are gonna make me make the deciding vote now, huh?
Like I said, the reason we want to go with the wooden one is it's wider. Allows for expansion and equipment that we're gonna get. The door on the side allows us to basically not have to jockey equipment around in there. You just go in the side door, grab, we gotta get in and out, and that's it. Also gives us enough room in there, we can put a gas locker in there. And secure it all in that building. Like I said, you know, the way they're built now, you know. You gotta maintain everything eventually, but. Should last a good long time. But
The 82 is for the wood.
that's the one I recommend getting right there. It's a bigger one, it's got more room.
You know, the wooden one's more dangerous with chemicals in it than those metal ones. Without a doubt,
That's why we got a gas storage locker.
it's still not that great.
But
That's your choice, not mine. I don't. Anyways. Ridiculous.
All right, all in favor?
No,
Motion passes.
Want a quarter?
I'll vote aye.
I got chocolate.
Aye. Motion carries. All right. Don't come to us for any more money.
well, I'll let you know that we did get the grant,
Yeah,
60%. For our basically one of our consent orders we put in for, so that's one good thing that's gonna give us was it $28,000?
It was the capital improvement, right?
Yeah, the capital.
Yeah, so it's 26,000 out of a $44,000.
Yeah.
Project, so.
great.
So, and the thing is, Marius said they might come in a little low, so we can take the extra off of that one and put it towards the difference, and it'll cost us very minimal under free cash to get that, so that's a huge another one coming off, so. But again, that's something lucky we've got the free cash, because we have to match the other 40%.
Yeah,
So.
well, that's good. Congratulations.
that was
Good work.
pretty Good, we just got that news, but yesterday,
Friday, yeah.
yeah,
Alright.
that was some good news.
All right, thank you.
Please.
Yeah. let me put that there. So,
Question, Mary?
Thank you
Yeah,
very
there was I had a call last week in the office, Amy Toporowski, she is has started a new business and she was looking for funds to I don't purchase equipment and I sent her your way. Has she been in touch with you?
I emailed her,
Okay.
some MDR, so Mass Department of Agricultural Resources info, because they do have grant programs specifically looking at that.
Mhm.
It's good, it was mentioned, there's a little bit of ARPA money left.
Little bit.
Yeah, did she fall into that?
Well, she's a local business, so we have been awarding local businesses funds, so.
Okay.
All right. Kristen Smitty, come on down. Welcome. Thank you. I'm sure you've also had a long day. Thank you for coming.
Pleasure. I just like to come and give the board some updates for what's going on in QA Regional.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
So I don't know if you've heard, but we are starting a student internship program and we got a grant for $59,500. And we're piloting it with the town of Chester to support junior water operators. And
That's
so
great.
It's really exciting that we have 6 students who are enrolled in the program. They're taking the junior water operator course at STCC and they're doing an internship in Chester. And I think there's some interest in coming up here too.
Yep.
And so I think that's really exciting
great.
for our students and they'll be paid for their time through this grant. And so it's at no cost to towns. And given the shortage of water operators in the community, this will be a big win because the students are really interested in staying in the community. And I don't think that they knew that this career pathway existed. And so I think that will be eye-opening for them. And
That's
so
great.
I think 4 of them want to continue on with this water operator program right after graduation, are all seniors. And then 2 will continue on to higher ed with this field. So that's exciting. You may know that there is a staffing shortage across the state and country with educators, and we certainly feel that at Gateway. And so we still have some vacancies that we're looking to fill, particularly in our special education department, some transportation needs, and then some service providers. And so we are in desperate need of a speech language pathologist and a PCBA. So if you know of anyone, send them our way.
Yeah.
I love kids.
I know everywhere it's hurting.
Yeah, it's really tricky. I do want to commend the staff that we do have. They are working double time to fill all the holes that we have to make sure that our students are getting the services they need. But I am concerned that they're extending themselves is not really sustainable because of,
Yeah.
they're working their prep times, they're working after school. So they're working really hard.
Yeah.
Some positive news, we've gotten some really great grants to have some great programs for our students offered after school and in the summer. And so this past summer, we used ESSER funding to offer free summer services for our students in K through 10. And we had over 100 students enroll, and that is free for families. And so I don't know if you've enrolled kids in summer programs lately, but it's like $360 for 1 week for one kid
Yeah.
at like Roots, for example.
Yeah.
So to offer this service to our students is great. We've gotten a grant for $210,000. And that's a 5-year continuation grant, so it'll total about $1 million that we can
Nice.
continue on with that summer program. And we just got notice that we received an additional $80,000 to keep the after school program and summer program going. So that's transportation and summer services for our students.
What kind of summer programs are they?
Yeah, so it's loosely academically focused, and so we really focus on STEM, so science, math, technology, and engineering. And there's so many engaging things that we can do with STEM, so students have a great time. And so the other day in the after school program, they had exploding pumpkins and they do like egg drop competitions.
Where do I sign up for this?
You're too old.
Oh,
It's volunteer, it's coursework, and we're always looking for staff.
I know a lot of families that took advantage of the summer program. and They really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It sounded like it was great.
I think so too. And so currently we're offering wraparound service for elementary school at a cost for families, but with this $80,000 grant that the school committee will hopefully approve tomorrow night, we'll be able to lift the charge for wraparound as well. So
Oh, that's
such a
great.
huge service to our
Mhm.
families. You may have also seen that we received a grant to update our welding vocational program for $374,000. So
Nice.
that is underway, and it's something that we're looking to tuition students into our welding program. So currently, we only have students within our Gateway districts that enroll in our vocational programs. And if we are able to get students from other districts to come to Gateway to participate in our Chapter 74 programs, it'll be about $18,000 per student.
That'd be
So
great.
that's not any additional staffing, not any additional costs for equipment, it's just
Brain.
pure
Yeah.
revenue. With that being said, we've also expanded our program for students with vision loss. And so currently in the district, we have 4 students with vision loss, and we employ a teacher with visual impairment and a brailleist. And we have lots of assistive technology for students with vision loss because of kids we have in districts, but the next program that's offered is Perkins, and that's $200,000 to send a student out of district. And so we have opened our program to other districts in our community. And so we have 1 student currently enrolled, and their tuition rate is $71,000. And we have another student starting next week. And so again, like no additional costs for staffing or support
great,
or
yeah.
resources, but just taking advantage of the programs and services that we have to get as much revenue as possible to help offset our budget.
Great.
We have been really focusing on safety and kind of getting back into the practice of doing like lockdown drills and fire drills and bus evacuation, because that all kind of went by the wayside during COVID. And then we had Chief Dubiel at the school, and we did our first round of lockdown since 2020. And they went really, really well, just some minor tweaks, and kids were really great. And as a mom of, you know, a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, I always get a little worried about practicing with elementary students, but they were wonderful. And
Good.
so
I know it can be emotional and
Yeah.
hard, yeah.
those necessary evils, but our police partners are so lovely with being friendly and
Mhm.
upbeat and still corrective for students who, you know, may need to
Mhm.
know, okay, we don't crouch anymore, we need to stand up to get ready to move if we need to, but that went really well. And we're also working with other communities like Westfield State and just some other organizations to have like reunification sites and engage in safety professional development, because we know that it's a need. And finally, I wanted to let you know that we have negotiations coming up for our paraprofessionals, and the regulations say that 1 member from select boards can participate. And I know that last year Roger Booth from Huntington volunteered. He says he was voluntold, but he is willing to continue on if
Sure.
there's
Yeah.
no one else that would like to, but if there is someone else that would like to, we can have an election. But we hope to start those negotiations soon. You know, I'm a little worried about the rate of pay for paras, because
Yeah.
you know, they're our lowest paid staff members, and they work with some of our neediest kids, and right now they're right at minimum wage. And we've lost a lot of staff members to go work at like Target or Dunkin' Donuts because they can get a higher rate of pay. And
Yeah.
so it's something that, you know, we're looking at. Our school committee has 2 select board members on it as well, from Chester and then 1 from Huntington. So there is super awareness around how tight town budgets are as well. And so we're not looking to
Yeah,
break the bank, but it's certainly something we need to think about in terms
it's such an important position, and it's almost impossible to find people.
of.
I mean, it was like at Southwick, I think they made like 17,000 a year. And so they were working just for their insurance, but they're working with all the special needs kids. And then when they don't apply for the jobs and you have the jobs are empty, the special need kids are not getting any support in the classroom. So the IEPs aren't being met, and it's like a total,
It's a vicious cycle, because
Yeah.
most families can apply for compensatory services, which we need to provide. to
Yeah.
families, which they certainly have the right to do if we're not meeting the needs of students' IEPs. But we would rather meet the needs of kids up front in the classroom, and so we can offer that support. to them.
and it's a pathway to teaching too. I mean,
It is.
a lot of times people start as a paraprofessional.
And the pairs we have at Gateway are amazing. They work
Yeah.
really hard. It's a thankless job.
Yes,
So
it is.
I appreciate their support. Oh, one more thing. I did want to note that Linda Coffey, who is a Blanford resident, she retired from Gateway on
No,
October 28 after 26 years in the district.
Good
We
for
see her around
her.
town, but
Yeah,
she-
absolutely.
Congratulations. She was such a pillar in our central office for our
Yes.
accounts payable. Running a
Yes.
Very tight ship.
Yeah.
And I have our enrollment numbers. Another select board asked for these numbers as well.
Oh, there you go.
On the other side is our vocational program numbers and our plan for marketing, so.
Thank you.
It's teaching.
Christopher, Jeff was saying Linda Coffey for finance. She's retired.
I know her. I'll be over there tomorrow with coffee.
Amazing.
Oh, I've known her. I knew her before they got married, her and her husband. Yeah, they live right next door to me.
Sold.
I will be over there. Doing my
Careful.
Has the,
due diligence, how's that?
how has the early childhood voc program been going? Do you guys have a
Yeah.
decent amount of kids in that?
Right now, our enrollment is kind of low, frankly.
Okay.
I think that once we start marketing it better,
Yeah.
then we will have a lot of students enroll, because when you look at the state data, it's one of the most popular programs, particularly for female students.
Yeah,
And I think that we just need to do a better job of like sharing that we have a program. 'Cause
Yeah.
Smith or Westfield both do not have an early childhood program.
really?
So I think it's a great opportunity to get more students to come to Gateway, because, I mean, our early childhood voc classroom is across the hall from our pre-K. And
Yeah.
so just that hands-on
It works
experience is
perfect.
really valuable.
And then if you can roll that into the para, starting thing, that might be a decent starting job for someone, especially
Well,
interesting.
If you were aware of this, but the Commissioner of Ed is allowing seniors to like stop doing classwork their second half of the year to start working as paras, because there's such a
Really?
shortage.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a little odd because there's graduation requirements and,
Wow.
requirements for students.
So
to go
TJ, you
to college.
qualify as a senior.
And that-
Sorry.
Wow, that's really interesting. There's that much shortage.
No.
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 I've already raised mine. I have my grandkids. They're all good. When they come and visit, I feed them full of chocolate and send them home. It's good for me. I don't have the patience anymore.
Yeah.
I hear you. There's, students are, like, there's a lot of need right now, particularly with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We're really doing our best to get lots of grants to offer many opportunities for our students and provide them the best level of care, but these grants don't offset our operating budget. They're to provide more for
Mhm.
kids. And so, again, I just can't speak highly enough of the staff who are like working these after school programs and summer programs and like doing everything they can to provide this really great level of care for our kids.
Given the awareness of the need for paraprofessionals, I'm surprised there's not more programming available to help offset that cost.
No, and we tried to like contact Westfield State, their enrollment in their
Yeah.
education program is down over 60%. Like,
Yeah,
there's just like no one who wants to be. a
Why would you
teacher.
want to be a teacher, right? Yeah,
Like wanting to be a cop.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
No offense, Ken, but it's
true.
I keep it big.
Me too. And I'm a sped
No, but
teacher,
it's-
but yeah,
It's true, there's so many hoops to jump through and
it's crazy.
really
Oh,
challenging.
I was at a meeting this summer and with Daisy, and they had a meeting over at the Delaney House, and got $1.2 billion in money for education. And when I was at the meeting, they know what the needs are. And there was only one person there that had any real knowledge of teaching. All the rest were people that went through the college system, they graduated with degrees in education, but never taught.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
And I was shocked. And these people are going to distribute money for education, and all I heard was, well, we got $1.2 billion for education. And then all I could hear is, well, how are we going to spend it and how do we keep it? And I said, it's just ludicrous.
And can I say, so a lot of that money is available by competitive grants, so.
Yeah.
Management and application for those grants is hours, and so we're trying to like reallocate our staff to figure out how we go after these grants
Mm.
because they are so competitive. And then the other thing is, like in our like rural regional district, there's all this money available for education, but so from last year, we can expect an increase of like 0.4%. And so when we know that fuel costs are going up
Yeah.
10%,
Mhm.
out of district tuition is going up 14%. Benefits are going up significantly, and the teachers getting their cost of living increase raise at 2.5%, which isn't close to
Yeah.
inflation. How is that supposed to match the state increase of 0.4%? It's almost
Yeah.
insulting.
yeah,
It is insulting, it is. And their big argument too was, how can we get teachers? And they're saying, well, it isn't getting the teachers so much as to get them programmed to our agenda. And what is this?
well, thank you, Kristen.
George has a question?
Yes,
Curious,
Have there been any assessment of the effects of COVID on the Gateway students? And if there has been, what programs have you developed to address those deficits, assuming they are deficits?
Yeah, so it's hard to assess the effects of COVID because it's, as a global pandemic, it's hard to know like how Gateway students particularly were hit. Like the data points that we use are like our MCAS scores, or our statewide assessment scores, and we have shown some growth with that, but it's hard to know like how COVID affected that. And we're also looking a lot at our discipline referrals and our like student mental health referrals to counseling, which are up,
Yeah.
and it's not a reflection of like poor behavior for students, it's just a reflection of students needing lots of different types of supports. And so we're currently using some of our ESSER money to hire more interventionists for kids, so they get the academic interventions, and more school adjustment counselors to help them, feel like they have all the skills necessary to be like happy and make friends. But that funding is going to go away at the end of next year, and so I am worried about that fiscal cliff and trying to figure out how to maintain these really great programs, which is why we're doing all these like tuition and creative things. Because the effect is significant, but I think it's not just Gateway,
It's, yeah,
When you compare the MCAS scores as they were before COVID, and you compare your latest MCAS scores, how do they compare?
they're worse, and so particularly in writing.
we're still worse, yeah.
They're worse, but again, that's statewide, and so
Yeah.
the writing scores took a significant hit, particularly in grades 3, 4, and 5. And so I think for early learners, particularly learners who are starting to learn how to read, that was really difficult to do remotely. Or with separation with masks on, when you can't read
Yeah.
people's lips and help with articulation. And so again, like our interventionists are working really hard to catch kids up with reading and provide instruction for students that need that support, but it's almost like school wide where we're doing learning.
And the state raised MCAS scores
They
this
did.
year, which was asinine to me. So now kids have to reach a higher level to get a high school diploma.
How do we get politics out of education?
I don't know. All right, we gotta go. We gotta keep moving. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate everything you're doing. All right, expenditure report. Good times. Oh, I got my cheat sheet. Where's my cheat sheet? Right here. It is
33.
November 33.
They're already looking at it, Jay.
Select board materials, expenditure report. Assessors is over, assessors expense, but they really don't have much of a budget anyways. It's only $1,000 altogether, so. We already know about those water bills and that jazz. Tree warden. Did you see that one, Christopher? It's at 72%.
Where is that spent?
That is, sorry, my.
On page 4, so
72% on his
Yeah.
outside services.
yeah,
Yeah, so I know. I mean, that one's kind of seasonal, right? Because you
Yeah.
spend a bunch in summer, fall,
Mhm.
and then a bunch more in the spring.
mhm.
I have to talk to him anyway about the article that we have a special town meeting.
Okay.
So I'll bring it up with them.
Thank you. The equipment rental is pretty high for highway.
Fire department expenses are up too. They're at all 44 now.
Yeah, and that one, we're gonna, amend their budget slightly to account for fuel costs, because we didn't have that built in
For fire.
for heating lines. For that.
I know she said 4% for heating. You aren't gonna cover 4% this year. It's up like 50%
You know.
from last year.
And then, yeah, I can talk to Dave about the rental.
Yeah, just curious.
Let's just see here.
We still haven't come up with a system for fuel usage
Oh, no, no,
for the
no.
different departments.
PJ, that's like Shepherd Farm. We can't do that. It's not allowed. I'm just gonna say Shepherd Farm.
We'll just say Shepherd's Pie. Listen.
Let's see. I think that's the only one. Everything else looks pretty good.
Overtime's up. A lot on highway. though.
Yeah, but I think
Why?
you explained to me it's not the winter will come out of the winter account.
Yeah, I
so-
know, but I just wondered why it was up now.
When I talked to Dave about it, he said that at least in the late summer, there was just like falling branches that people were complaining about that need to be removed from the roads.
Storms.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You want this? Okay. All right, and last but certainly not least, we have the Holyoke Parade. This St. Patrick's Day Parade. You know what we need? We need a parade committee. Because every year this sort of just falls through the cracks. I think,
that sounds like a recreation job.
Yes.
oh, don't, you're sitting too close.
No, I think
You're absolutely right.
No, we're not throwing any more on recreation. Speaking of which, we do have to have a recreation. We have to have a recreation meeting and talk about how we're gonna draft up something to offer out the Russell Pond money, but we have time on that, but just. Well, I'm thinking of it. But no, I really think like if there's a couple people that are interested in putting together, you know, just working with all of the different departments to just get things in line for the parade, it would be nice because it's just, it was sort of last minute last year and it was confusing and so I don't know if we can put something out there in the paper, Mary, and then maybe we can put something on the website if anyone is interested in being part of a St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee. For Blanford.
Contact you.
Sure.
May I ask a question about these two that aren't signed? The tax collectors wait until all of these are signed before they print checks. Is this going to affect that at all?
Ooh.
Should you have you sign it and I won't give it to them until.
I can call Sarah the first
he
thing.
I
gets
think
it?
it's just one.
Otherwise I have to call you back in.
I think it's just one bill on each of those. Let me look. And then maybe we can just pull that one check. So there's this one right here, the 1,650,000 for broadband. And then that it's here too, 1,650,000 Unibank fiscal advisory service. Like, are these two different?
Yeah, Sarah about it.
I don't mind stopping in and signing.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah, it just makes me really nervous, Joanne. I'm afraid to sign it
That's
with,
fine.
with that amount on
I'll call these two guys in after Christopher does his thing.
it. Okay.
Yeah,
You don't need these.
well, yeah,
All right,
Okay.
we're good then. We're good? We're good. Meeting adjourned.
Holyoke parade things. Town does want to participate.
Yeah, so, but we don't need to know until January,
Okay. all
so
right.
we're good. I'm gonna hold this right here in my holding container.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put together a committee. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna scrounge up some people. Rustle up.
You're holding a lot.
Does the board know about the turkeys we're not having?
Yeah, we talked about that.
But they're offering public service.
The turkeys?
instead of.
So it's, we're gonna be the parade committee.
Yeah. There we go. That could be a colorful float. I like that. I mean, with as far as decorations go.
Just the top page.
Yeah,
What kind of public service they want to do, Mary?
It just says, our team would like to volunteer our time this holiday season to help to some sort of community service. to
Got
help
the perfect thing for 'em.
holidays.
Let them clean Bicentennial Park. The leaves are about 4 foot deep.
serve on finance committee.
Yeah, they've been real good on that.
That we could do like fire department. I'm sure fire department has some, do they have anything they need volunteer or?
Or painting the old town hall.
Painting
Outside.
the-
First, they had to clean it. I've asked them to do the sand's this deep around it. The boards are rotten,
Yeah.
but we don't ever maintain anything in this town. I can see that much.
Oh, that's not a true statement. We're adjourning on that. Grumpy. We don't have to. I say adjourn and we adjourn. That's how it works.
Well, la-di-da.
Oh, my God.
Boy, give us some. Jesus.
Yeah, doesn't your heart go out for John?
I don't know.
Please,
He lost a bet.
please. Bye, chief.
So if anybody has.
That goes out for my Debbie. Yeah, that's-
Yeah.
No. No, we just spent a couple of grand on Centennial Park and we can't get rid of them.
We didn't have to spend that much on it. Doesn't matter.
And you didn't bring any for us?
Maybe it's.
They never do a fall cleanup there. The leaves end up in my yard.
Let me do.
They've never cleaned it. So her husband did it last year. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's.
How many times did I ask you about cleaning the sand up in the